And I love it when a guest throws out a ticker and I have to look it up. And you did that for me. I was like, I thought I knew most of them. MEOH, METHANEX. Who and why?
Well, Brian, first off, in METHANEX, this is a company in the specialty chemical space. And from our perspective, we're starting to see, obviously, a recovery in the economy, and we're starting to see a pickup in some of these basic material parts of the market right now. And so METHANEX is a stock to us. It looks like one that we think should be bought. It's got decent upside, improving price, improving relative strength. So it's definitely one that I would put on a short list as we look forward into the second half of the year as the economy really picks up and starts to recover.
Yeah, well, it's off its highs, but man, it's been hot the last 30 days or so. All right, let's move to another new name. Again, a name I've heard in passing, couldn't tell you what they do. BIO-TECHNE, the ticker is TECH. The ticker is actually tech. It's not an ETF. It's an individual name. Again, what about the charts are you seeing with this stock that makes you like it going into year end?
So, Brian, this is a chart that has been putting up a really nice price action on an absolute basis. The relative strength has been very strong, and it's a very constructive segment inside of the healthcare space. Healthcare has been very challenged this year. This is a Minnesota-based company. It's obviously doing very well. It's one, we like the relative strength, we like the absolute trend, and we think this one that we should also be focusing on. And then, Brian, one other one that I think that we should talk about, too, is Unity Software, ticker U. This stock has made a very impressive looking inverted head and shoulders bottom. It is also, to us, poised to set up for at least 30% upside from here. And it's in a very key part of the market, which is 2D, 3D, graphic tools, virtual reality. This looks like a stock that's got a very nice growth profile and a very nice earnings setup for it going forward from here. So that's a third one that I would put onto our list, Brian.
Yeah, when you say, going back to the technicals for maybe we got some new viewers out there, you say inverse head and shoulders. Guys, if we could bring up that chart of Unity again, we are well off our highs. The stock looked terrible for months. What do you see when you say that? What do you see technically that says, okay, this may be a real turn? And by the way, it looked like it happened in early May.
Absolutely. So what we're saying in terms of the technicals there, Brian, is you got this sort of left shoulder, you've got this kind of push lower that makes the kind of head, then you get the next sort of move back up, and you can't get back down to that prior low that you had there when you made the head. So you're making what it really looks like a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulders, but inverted. That is a typical sign of sort of exhaustion in terms of selling. And from our perspective, when we finally start seeing this stock break above that neckline of that inverted head and shoulders, which is kind of the area where you formed your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulders. Not to get too technical, Brian, but usually when you break back above that neckline, if you measure that neckline to that head, stand it up, it's a really good indication of how far that stock can actually run. And that's exactly what we think is going to happen with Unity Software. Again, right theme, technical, price action, all coming together. It's kind of a stars and moons alignment when you're looking at fundamentals and technicals on that one.
Well, listen, you can get technical. That's why you're here, Craig. That's what you do, and you're one of the best in the business. Now I want to talk about two other names, and this is one you bought, one you sold, and this is interesting because I think it was last week or something, we did a little segment on when to sell. We're always on CNBC talking about when to buy. We also need to know when to sell. If you've made enough money and your money's going to be flat for years to come. So this is interesting. You bought one oil company, Cimarex, XEC, and you sold another, Pioneer, PXD. Tell us, I mean, they're kind of semi-similar companies. Tell us why. What's the difference? What did you see?
Sure. So, Brian, what we did is we sold the Pioneer. We also sold CLB, too. So this was another company inside of our energy exposure. And what we were really looking to do is basically take out Pioneer, which was underperforming, along with CLB. They were lagging on an absolute and on a relative basis. Cimarex is actually showing better relative strength. It's reversing the downtrend that we've been seeing here over the last 6 to 9 months or so. And so we're seeing better absolute and better relative strength. And from our perspective, we're trying to pick up alpha every single day, and it looks like Cimarex is going to do that for us. And we think that that makes a good opportunity to make a swap. And again, we also took two positions that were smaller, and we bought one larger position, which is Cimarex. So it was a portfolio decision, Brian, and a technical decision as to why we did it.